What is going on, guys? Afflicted Gamer here, back in another Division video, and this is Last Stand, the final DLC for the Division of the season. We all know that much more is to come with the game. They have said that on State of the Game last week and the week before that. So there's more after this. We don't know when or what, but anyways, in the meantime, this is what we have left for the game. So Last Stand, we will talk about the DLC in general, but in this particular match, in Last Stand, you can approach how you want to play this game mode in a number of different ways. You can go on offense, obviously, and try to kill as many rogue agents as possible. You can go around being the healer, constantly being the backup support of the aggression player, or you could do something like this. This was one match that a friend of mine and I, Sadistic Demon, who is in this video, we decided to approach this in a stealthy manner to try to go completely undetected, or try not to die at the very least through the entire match. Granted, you will not get as many points as you would from killing rogue agents, but we wanted to try to constantly protect or take down the enemy fortifications. On top of that, obviously get the kill bonuses and the tactical booster. So that is the gameplay that you are going to see in the background. On top of that, I think I was trying to experiment with the new build and the Tommy gun, which was given to me in the Dark Zone just recently. So once again, guys, thank you for that run there, Bradley and Bad Coolman. Thank you guys so much. Anyways, so the other thing I do want to talk about is how good is Last Stand? How enjoyable is this game mode and the DLC in general? For one, I did not expect this to be the final DLC. I didn't picture a game like The Division, massive multiplayer open world, this post-apocalyptic setting, to have a game mode that is similar to a kind of a style of a Call of Duty Domination or Destiny's Control, that style of thing. I will say it is much more brutal, that's for sure. And you do have to be very, very tactical instead of just being a run and gun type of person, because you've got to worry about your team, you have to worry about your areas, you have to communicate. It's not just going in there and camping with a sniper. I mean, you can, but I think there is more depth to this game mode than others. Not that I'm knocking any other game mode, just to clear that up. Just my opinion on this one. So, what is everybody's take on this? A lot of PvE players that hate the Dark Zone are playing this game mode, and they are loving it. They're enjoying it. There's no penalty. If you die, you don't lose any items, you don't lose any XP, you don't lose any rank. In my opinion, that is a win-win right there. At the end of the match, you will get some gear and some caches, which is cool. There isn't really the element of extreme tension that the Dark Zone can bring you, of manhunt, getting that god roll perfect exotic now, or gun that you are just constantly searching for and needing to extract it at the same time. It doesn't have that, but I think that it does offer much more. If you can bring the PvE players into PvP, at least tongue twister here, at least for this as a starting point, maybe more players will enter the Dark Zone. Dark Zone is a lot bigger now with 7, 8, and 9, so I think that this is a step forward for sure. So that's my take on that part. I do go down once in this coming up, I believe, at some point in the match, which is a little bit unfortunate, but other than that, this is the role and the way that I tried to approach this whole mission. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I thought that it was really fun. and I thought I would just, out of all of the matches that I've played, which has been quite a few, that was also a mistake there, thinking that I could withstand the damage of the turret. I don't know. I just wanted to do this in a different way, and I don't see very many players taking on the role of not fighting and just being support for the team. I also, unlike what you just saw there, noticed that a lot of players don't pick you up on your own team. It seems like even here, just like in the regular Dark Zone, all anybody cares about is getting kills. And that's unfortunate because this game mode has an objective to it. There is a reason to do what you are doing, and you need to cooperate with, four groups, four other players, two groups of strangers that cannot hear each other against another two groups of players that cannot hear each other, because you can't go in as an 8-man squad. And I think that that's fair because it makes it more of a balanced match. Now, even if it's the case where you are going in by yourself and then you have complete randoms, the best you can hope for is a party invite or that somebody will be in game chat. If not, then you're kind of, well, on your own. Even that is not a bad thing. If you don't know the Dark Zone because you hated it, this will give you a chance to roam around and learn and to see, well, how PvP is kind of nowadays without penalty, which is also a positive towards the game. So I don't know, I think there's a lot of benefits to it. I do find, and I know I'm not the only person because a number of different people have brought this up, even these red NPCs right here seem to hit a lot harder, as I actually just got hit literally, a lot harder than they ever did before. And I find that that is kind of strange because this is where it was supposed to be much more balanced than ever before. The scaling and the change from armor to health, which is something I do desperately want to talk about, and I am going to talk about in this video. I don't know. I just find that they hit harder. It just, in some cases, it feels like 1.3 a little bit in some certain circumstances. Now, the health versus armor, that's something I have wanted to bring up for a while. I don't understand what they are trying to do here because it feels like they swapped one out for the other. Instead of rolling armor in your major attribute, what are you guys rolling now? Health. Or there's all resistance, but for the most part, I haven't heard anybody say that, and this is just me, say that they would roll all resistance in their major slots. So, skill power, yes, but all resistance, no. So it feels like we just traded off one major attribute for another, and that's that. And in my opinion, it feels like we are a lot more squishy now than we were before in 1.5 when armor was the major attribute to go for. Not that I agree that, it should have stayed the way that it was, but I don't know. They need to do something with the NPCs to kind of scale them back a little bit, or readjust the way health really works, because we are all just rolling for the same thing over and over and over again. And I don't know what he was doing. I thought he was actually awake, but I guess not. Anyway, and yes, in Last Stand, all of your stats go to max on your gear, on your weapons. So you go in there as strong as you possibly can be. But yet again, health and armor are two different things. Before, we could put a lot of stamina into our player and then protect it with a bunch of armor around that. Now it's stamina and health, which are virtually, well, basically the same thing. So I think that there should be some sort of change or adjustment in that sense, but I don't know. I would like to know what everybody else thinks. I've heard a lot of players speak in the Dark Zone, and I know I talked to a lot of people on Xbox and PlayStation 4, and so far, for the most part, everybody agrees that they do like the update, that it is fun, but the change makes them feel weaker, that they just can't seem to survive as long or as easily as before, and that's kind of a shame. I'm not sure if that was the same guy that was asleep the first time I killed him, but anyways, I wasn't too sure because he was in cover. But you gotta do what you gotta do. As you can see, though, in this game so far, I've gone completely undetected, which is really cool, until this point right here, where I'm trying to get this fortification down, because no matter which way I turn, I was actually being shot by turrets and then an agent in the back, and then my teammate there also was in the same predicament where got hit by turrets and by an agent, leaving us one down. That is the only time that we actually go down in the video, so we do keep up the whole support role, and you'll see how it goes at the end of the video if you so choose to stick around, which I hope that you guys will watch to the end. I would love to know in the comments down below what everybody thinks of the change from health to armor, and on top of that, how enjoyable is Last Stand? How long do you think it will last? Do you think that this is the best DLC that the Division has come out with so far? Is it better than Survival? Is it better than Underground? I know a lot of people that hate Underground. I know a lot of people that love Underground. Same thing with Survival. I know people that think that they have to go in there and start all over with green gear and lose all their stuff. Well, clearly that is not the case. And they have zero interest in doing that. They don't want to craft skills, they don't want to do anything of that sort, so they completely ignore it. Myself, I love Survival. Every Sunday I stream Survival, 2 p.m. Eastern Time here on YouTube. Survival Sundays. I absolutely love that game mode. I think it is challenging, I think it is cool. I also love this game mode here because it gives you a chance to participate in the Dark Zone penalty free, and still get loot, and still kill players, and well, actually have an objective and reason to be in there other than to hope for a supply drop, or now the newly added contamination events, which I also think are really cool. They are a challenge because your virus filter is just not strong enough, not even close to being strong enough. So you really have to be careful how you approach that, especially solo, which day one of the DLC, I went in there solo and managed to clear one out, and I was pretty happy about that. It was really exciting to do that the first time. So yeah, you guys could check that video out if you so choose to. Anyways, my overall take and final verdict and opinion on Last Stand, and also on how to approach the game mode itself, is one, it's going to come down to your own personal preference, but I would say give different playstyles to try. Try seeing if you can sneak around the entire map and just completely support your team with points and go completely undetected under the radar. Other times, go on the aggression, especially if you're not a PvP player. Go on the aggression and see how well you do. Practice will help you get better. Just keep an open mind and enjoy the game mode. And let's hope that whatever the next thing that to come to the Division is a lot more enjoyable than this. And I'm not saying that this is enjoyable, but let's just hope that they keep getting better and better, because that is what they have done since 1.4. The Division is back, and it is a lot of fun. It's been back for a while, actually. So anyways, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please drop a like, leave your thoughts and comments down below. Don't forget that you can follow me on Twitter at AfflictedGamer. The stream times will be at the end of the video. And if you're new, then I hope that you will consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this, and obviously much more on the way. We just surpassed 700 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for that. It means the world to me. Greatly appreciate it. Anyways, until then, have a good day as always. I'll see you soon in the next video or in the next